Wonderful session about discover your strength for a successful career path. Rukmani Devi Institute of Advanced Studies is a category A plus institute affiliated to IP University. It runs under the aegis of Said Pokarmar Educational Society. The institute is an active member of AMDISA in South Asia, CSI and AIMA. The college has been continuously organizing such various informative and outstanding sessions. But I firmly believe that this one is going to be one of the best sessions ever.
So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our guest speaker, Mr. Roshan Sohail.
Hello. Can you make it work, please? Hello.
So it's working.
Anji.
No, it's not working.
Hello. Oh, you would like to give me the other one, huh? You still want to introduce me better?
Yeah, he's
You want
getting
to,
you.
you want to say
Another
something
one.
better? Huh? Please do that. Meanwhile, I'm getting a different mic. Good. Thank you. You still want to continue or want me to take over? Good.
Mr. Roshan Sohail has more than 13 years of experience in education, sales, HR and training. He has been conducting training programs on leadership, communication skills, team building, managerial efficiency, customer care and other topics of corporate relevance. Mr. Roshan Sohail possesses immense expertise in conceptualization, content development, designing, delivery and evaluation of training modules. He has had the honor of working with leading organizations like YKK, DLF, Ashok Leland, SBI Life Insurance, Intex, Hero Cycles, NPL, Frankfin and a number of management institutes including Amity and GLA.
So here's a treat for all of us. I, on the behalf of RIS family, warmly welcome you and I request Miss Ashna to felicitate him.
Mayank and Madhvi, thank you so much for introducing me. And since it was my trumpet, so they couldn't blow it better, so I blow it once again. My name is Roshan Sohail, 5 feet 9 inches, happily married. My wife is happy and I'm married. And me and my wife share a beautiful understanding. I do all the things, she does the rest. And the best part is that we hardly agree on anything. But whenever I make a mistake, she always agrees with me. Friends, just tell me honestly, why are you here? Why are you here? Tell me honestly. To learn? Okay, that's a fake one. Okay. Anyone who is honest there? We haven't come here. At our own. We have been sent. Right, very true. Friends, I am not a trainer, I am not a guru, I am just a facilitator, I am just a messenger. I consider myself as a messenger. And my first message for all of you is, listen carefully. What's the first message? Listen carefully, huh? When you listen to people carefully, you communicate 3 things and they do not cost a penny. 3 things you communicate when you listen. Number 1, when you listen to people attentively, it communicates that you are interested in them. Interested in them. I'm interested in you, you are interested in me. And don't take it that far, huh? Right? But it shows, it communicates, it conveys a sense that there is some interest growing in. So, it communicates that I am interested. The second thing, it communicates that I respect you. That's the greatest thing that you can communicate to your dad or your mom when there's something. How can you communicate respect to them? By just simply listening to them uninterruptedly. That's the biggest service you can do to your parents. Just listen to them. The second thing, it communicates what? First thing, it communicates that I'm interested. Second thing, it communicates that I respect you. And the third thing, it communicates that I support you. I support you. And you do it without investing anything. It comes to you at free of cost, at no extra charges, right? So do you promise me that you'll be lending me your ears throughout this program? Right? Okay, how many of you promise me? Some of you, almost all of you. Good here, thanks. Thank you so much. So listen carefully. Listen carefully. My first message for all of you is that everything you want in your life is available on the other side of comfort. How many of you can repeat it? Let me see. Ma'am, have you arranged those small? Can I have them? Do we have them here? Oh wow, good. Very nice. Okay. So let me begin with throwing away some freebies at you. Right? So whosoever gives me absolutely correct reply, that means repeating my statement verbatim. You understand verbatim? What does that mean? What does that mean? Word by word. Okay. Okay. 1, 2. Okay. This seems to be the most sincere one, huh? Okay. Anyone else would like to try? What was the statement that I just said? Please. Yes. Denim. Aditya. Yes. Oh wow. Very good. Nice attempt, Aditya. Give a big hand to Aditya here. Give a big hand to Aditya. But I just said, thank you, Aditya, good attempt. But I just said, give me verbatim. Okay? So let me help you once again. Here is my statement. Everything you want in your life is available on the other side of comfort. Give me it, verbatim. Who gives that? Who else? 1. You promised me that you will be listening to me attentively, but you are not. Just broken your promise. Who else? Yes, ma'am. Hi, Bhavna. Give a big hand to Bhavna. Wow, kya baat hai? Bhavna, come running. Wonderful, Bhavna. Good for your wonderful listening. Thank you so much. So, that's the beginning. I've got a box full of chocolates with me, and you can expect a lot of freebies, huh? So, you got my first message that in order to make this program successful, you have to be equally contributing to the success of this program. Will you? Yes. Okay. So let me start my program by showing you a few visuals. As you know, the program is titled what? Okay. So let me start with a few visuals. When you look at the visual, it will give you some feelings. It will invoke some feelings, some emotions, whatever, right? Just look at those visuals. Try to relate to those words written on the slides. Unique, alive, self-sufficient. We're talking about nature. We're talking about nature. Nature. A place for everyone. Nature. Nature operates through the principle of universal interdependence. Interdependence. I have something good in me that probably help you, and you have something good in you that can probably help someone else. That's what we call interdependence. And that's what nature's greatest gift is to everything around us. Everything, including human beings. Everything. Right? So nature operates on the principles of universal interdependence. And nature is a beautiful, effortless management system. Effortless. Natural things do not make efforts. They just simply live. They just simply act like just like that. So, fishes swim, birds fly, tigers run, peacocks dance, right? And everything natural you see around just simply bloom and gives out his, her, or their best to us. We breathe in oxygen, we release carbon dioxide, which the trees use, and trees in turn generate oxygen, which comes back to us. How beautiful the nature's system is. Let's try to find out a small amount of nature inside us. All of us have this small amount of nature inside each of us. And today I'm going to talk about that piece of nature that is driving us. Nature is naturally yours. If we are doing something that comes to us naturally, will always be effortless. Just think about people you might have looked around. We are not talking about celebrities or legendary people. Anybody you might have seen around. Somebody who is so effortless in whatever he or she does. Maybe it's about choreography, maybe it's about painting, maybe it's about mathematics. Something that comes to some people so easily, so naturally, that they never have to stretch themselves. Have you seen that? Have you seen that happening with some people? Maybe in your neighborhood, maybe in your class, maybe in your colony or somewhere. Somebody who plays very good cricket. Somebody who plays cricket but he can't bowl well. He bats well. Somebody who plays cricket, he can bowl well. Somebody who is a very good wicket keeper. Like Dhoni. Right? Okay. And somebody who is afraid of standing behind the wickets being a wicket keeper because it's not natural to him. He is scared if the ball that is coming from the bowler may hit him rather than hitting the batsman. But certain things come to people so naturally. When I started learning guitar, don't think that I play guitar. When I started learning guitar, of course, I miserably failed in that. And I went to my tutor to learn guitar, not knowing that guitar is the toughest instrument to learn. And I kept going to him for a week or so. And after 9th day, my guru folded his hands and very humbly requested me, my dear, don't waste your time. You don't have it in you. I used to appreciate music, but appreciating music is entirely different from learning the music. Let me tell you, most of you might be appreciating music. Some of you might feel so happy when you watch, singers on Indian Idol or singers like, Saregama, all those people. And you might be wondering, oh my God, I could be there. I sing well. People appreciate my voice. I have a good voice. I appreciate music. I can sing like that as well. Huh? Why not me? It's entirely different. It's entirely different. And becoming excellent in everything, I'm telling you, be it coding on computers or taking care of finances, working with files, working with Excel, multimedia, anything, I'm telling you, being excellent in anything is a painstaking job. However natural, however relaxed, however easy it may appear, but being excellent in anything takes a lot of pain, takes a lot of hard work. But how can we make it easy? Today we're going to talk about that. You want to know more about it? Okay. So, there is a little bit of nature in all of us, but what happens that people, because of any X, Y, Z, alpha, beta, gamma, theta reasons, make unnatural choices. Choices under the influence of their peers, choices under the influence of society or social expectations or parental expectations or whatever. Just because of vogue, he is going to RDIS, let me also go. He is doing MBA, let me also. Because of all these factors, people make what type of choices? What type of choices? You have to understand it, that's why I'm repeating it. What type of choices? Not wrong choices. Unnatural choices. There's nothing wrong or right. People make unnatural choices. For example, If I have never been comfortable with figures, stats, graphs, or tables, how can I think of doing something in statistics or business? It's very difficult to do that. One has to be very comfortable with numbers, strategies, plans, organization, all those things. Maybe I have my artistic capabilities fine, but I may not be very successful in managing a business. So you will find people who are just pushing the wall. They are just pushing the wall, acting against nature itself. So you will find software engineers who want to be architects. You will find chartered accountants who would like to be choreographers. And you will find hoteliers probably who would like to be painters. Stuck in their routine jobs and just managing somehow. Just rotting with mediocrity. Why? Because they are not working with their strengths. They are not working with their strengths. They are working against nature. And at the end of the day, they come back to the wall and look at it. Oh my God, how would it move? It won't. So let's try and understand how can nature helps us. I began asking you, why are you here? This is the dilemma. This is the irony of people's life. That most of the things we don't do them because we love them. We do them because we have to. We came here because we were told. We have to. And let me tell you, anything that we do half-heartedly, unwillingly, reluctantly, would it produce some productive results? Would it ever? It won't. It won't. It will take you to a place where you can get a package of 17,000 rupees. BPOs. Job shouldn't be a problem. There are jobs raining, I'm telling you. There are jobs raining. But are we becoming only order takers or saluters or what? So it will just take you to mediocrity, where you only become a highly educated clerk. Highly educated clerk. Who has no force, who has no drive, who has no strength to do things at his own, to make his own natural choices. And this is what I want you to be beware of. So let's go beyond that and understand. Similarly, we have to find out if anything we are doing that is consistent with us, consistent with what we are actually, who we are. Because we cannot consistently do anything that we are inconsistent with. So the first question that we need to ask ourselves is, who am I? We'll be doing that through some exercises. 3 questions that you need to ask yourself before you go in an interview. Though it's not an interview skills workshop, but I'll just like to give it to you. Because these are very important. They will give you a context in the background in replying to your interview questions. 3 questions. Number 1, who am I? Number 1, who am I? What type of person am I? Am I an introvert? Am I an extrovert? Do I love to work in night? I love to work in day. I love to work with people. I love to work with things. Who am I? The second question you need to ask is, what can I do? Number 1, who am I? Number 2, what can I do? What skills I have that make me effective? And number 3, what do I want? Only 3 things you have to be clear about when you go on an interview. You will not be asked straight away who you are, what you can, what you want. No. These will provide you the principles, backgrounds through which you will respond to the interview questions. Always remember these questions and always keep working upon them thoroughly. Who am I? What I can, what I want out of life. That's very important. Okay. So let's discover the nature in ourselves. Discover our strengths. Let's ask this one question. Let's ask ourselves this one question. What you love to do? I love to speak. I really love to speak. I love to create presentations. I love to develop content. I love to meet people. I love images, graphics, sounds, videos, audios. I love a lot of things. But I am scared of using Excel. That doesn't affect me, because I don't depend on it. It has nothing to do with my strengths or success at my workplace or my career. So I don't worry about it. Similarly, you have to do the same thing. If you cannot do anything well, just don't think about it. Focus on the things that you do well. It's as simple as that. So what you love to do, ask yourself what you love to do. Anything, it can be anything. Ask yourself. I'm coming to you with another chocolate. Whosoever can give me a very good, interesting answer, whatever he or she loves to do, gets a freebie. What you love to do. Ask yourself what you love to do. It can be in any activity. It can be anything under the sun. What you love to do. See? Very nice, very nice. We have 2 hands going up. Want to see more hands going up in the air? What you love to do. More hands, more hands. Okay, good. So, Akshay, huh? Mayank, sorry, Mayank. Yes, Mayank. I love to learn and work with people. Mayank, rush to me. Good. Give a big hand to Mayank, yeah? Great, Mayank. Great. Fantastic. Anybody else who is interested in sharing their ideas? What you love to do. So simple. What you love to do. Please don't tell me it is out of syllabus, huh? ऐसे नहीं बोलना यार, हाँ? पड़ोसी का भी नहीं बताना, हाँ? पड़ोसी वाले तू बता दे, तेरा बता देता हूँ मैं. Not like that, हाँ? We have a gentleman there. Yes, please. What do you love to do? Oh, sure.
I love to do dance. I love to do drama, and I would love to drink coffee with my friends.
Coffee with your friends?
Yes.
Okay. Great. What's your name? Mohit. Give a big hand to Mohit, yeah? Good, Mohit. Good. Somebody who feels pride in sharing what he or she loves to do. Somebody who feels so comfortable in his skin. That's very important. In whatever we love to do, we have to feel proud about that. Whatever it can be. Because that's the fundamental question that will lead you to greatness. That's the fundamental question that will lead you to greatness. Anybody else would like to share? What do you love to do? That's the first question that you need to begin with. Okay? So it can be anything. Can be anything. Not necessarily a subject. It can be anything. Any activity. Be it sports, be it meeting people, traveling to places, working with gadgets. It can be anything. Right? And you will see that how people who love doing their stuff, how they get recognition for their stuff, how they get noticed. So find out what you love to do. Struggling with that, it takes time. Okay, now I'm just assuming that you have already found it, but you are kind of afraid of sharing it. Okay, so I'm assuming that you have found it. Okay. So I am assuming that you have found it. Anything that you love to do it, right? Okay. Now let me take you to through this 3-step basic framework of finding our strengths. 3-step framework of finding our strengths. It begins with what you love to do. I have some problem with this. I don't need it, huh? It's all right. Okay. No, I don't need it, huh? I don't need it. It's already good. Okay. Now, if there is something that you love to do, for example, if you really love working on some projects, say for example, organizational development kind of thing. How many of you heard this term, organizational development, OD? Anybody heard this? Good. Okay. So anything that you really love to do, be it game, sports, dance, or whatever, it can be anything. Just rate your love on a scale of 1 to 10. Rate your love on a scale of 1 to 10. Do it in your mind. अभी पेपर पेन लेके बैठे हुए लोग. As if I'm going to give you some heavy algebra. Huh? Okay? You done it? You done it in your mind? You done it? Okay? So rate your love for that on a scale of 1 to 10. Okay? Now let me ask you one question. How do you differentiate love and infatuation? Huh? Is there anybody who is philosophical enough to talk about that? How do you differentiate love and infatuation? It happens with everyone here. Huh? Both the things actually. Can anybody? Huh? I want some mature people to talk about interesting life stuff. Huh? How about you? How about you? Anybody? Oh, please, please, please. Huh? Hey, क्या बात है? क्या बात? क्या बात? Infatuation happens once in a minute. That's interesting. What's your name, dear? Anshul. Good, yaar. Give a big hand to Anshul, yaar. Huh? Wow, wow, wow. Very nice, very nice. Okay, okay. Good. Thanks, Anshul. Okay. Anybody else? Would like to? Never mind. Your chocolates are growing with me, huh? Don't worry. Yes, anybody else this side? I want some more participation this side, huh? How about you, ma'am? Inexperienced? Or what? But still, you can share a lot of ideas. Ma'am? Come on, yeah. Come on. No idea? Seems to be from planet Mars, I guess, huh? Yes? What's this? What's this? Sir, kya? What was the question? Huh? No, I'm not looking for answers here. I'm looking, what do you think? What are your ideas about that? What are your ideas about that? Yes, ma'am. You seem to be bubbling with some interesting ideas, huh? Yes. That's very important, huh? Okay. Okay, so keep thinking about that. Keep thinking about that. Mayank, once again. Mayank, what do you think?
Love somewhat can be measured. Infatuation cannot.
Love can be measured.
Love her so much.
Okay. Love her so much. But you can't say, I infatuate her so much. Okay. Hey, क्या बात है? क्या बात है? अरे लूट लिया मुशायरा यार. क्या नाम है? What's your name? अश्विन, आजा. क्या बात है? नजरें मिलती हैं. क्या बात है अश्विन? ग्रेट, छा गए यार तुम तो यार. बढ़िया. अगला प्रोग्राम अश्विन करेगा मेरा. Okay, please.
It's like you never need to think when you're in love. You never think what if you never need to think before giving up something. When you're infatuated to someone or if you're attracted to someone, you need to think before giving up something for that.
Good, very nice, very good. Well done. बहुत अच्छा. So, I mean, in speaking in simple terms, infatuation happens at a very superficial level. It's a very surface level. Whereas love is very deep. It involves all the systems, biology, psychology, physiology. It involves everything. It's very intense actually. And